Hello everybody and welcome to Energetic Principles Horoscopes for this Leo season. My name is Melissa LaFara and I am an astrologer and tarot reader from San Diego, California. And today we're going to talk about what's in store for this Leo season. So let's get started.
And may the stars be with you.
All right, Leo and Leo rising. What does this Leo season have in store for you? Well, I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that you are in the spotlight. Every Leo loves to be in the spotlight. Well, maybe not everyone, but a lot of you do. And this is your month, really. You know, there's so much astro juice this month that this is really a life-changing month for everybody. But you're kind of at the forefront of it. So for Leos, for everybody, but for this Leo season, we're going to have 2 new moons. That's a rare thing. That doesn't always happen. One new moon, which is going to be Sunday, July 23rd, at 0 degrees Leo, right when we squeak in there. It will be, your first regular old new moon. And then we're going to have that great American solar eclipse that's going to happen Monday, August 21st, in that same area. So, with all these new moon considerations, where are the Leos going to find new vitality? And for you, that's around your own personal self, your personality, your individuality, your ability to step in your power and your confidence and just charge forward with a stronger a sense of self in a sense, and going after what it is that you want. Because, we're in Leo season. It's about going after what your heart's desire is. And so now you're going to feel a little more personal to go after what it is that you want. So just know that you are prepped for new beginnings. This is a perfect time to really embrace newness in your life and begin again, because this is a very strong period for you, and you have a lot to work with. So go after what it is that you want. Express yourself and try new things. Be a pioneer somewhere, especially if it's around what you're passionate about and your heart's desire. Because you're in a powerful position and you can use that wisely, really. So just know that this is probably the beginning. I mean, we've all been going through a lot of changes in life, but for you, this is really going to be a significant life change, I would say. And your independence is really being highlighted here. So how can you step into that sense of self, that you're able to stand tall and be proud of the Leo you are today? And so all these changes that you're going to be making and the new vitality that's coming around, this is really going to start to show results around 8 to 10 months from now. And you're probably going to feel like a totally new person. So the next aspect I want to talk about is Jupiter in Libra, who's going to be squaring Pluto in Capricorn. And that's going to happen Friday, August 4th. And that's a big transit. It's a social transit. This is things that affect us all. It's something that's not going to even happen that. It's more of like this underbelly of all the change and what's been going on. And the cycle really started actually in 2007. So that being said, as far as Leos are concerned, with that Pluto position, the past 8 years or so, you've been working on reinventing and renewing your own day-to-day reality and what it is that you do and you put your time into. And your health. How healthy are you? How much have you put into being able to care for your body, in a sense, and really get yourself aligned with the reality that suits you. So there's been so many changes in your day-to-day reality over the last how many years, and here we are getting kind of that final crisis point test around that, to where that Jupiter in Libra, especially around relating and partnerships of sorts, how are your thoughts playing into the way you relate with other people? What do you think about is your mind on board with what your day-to-day looks like? And if it's not, how can one of the two change, essentially? you know, because you're really expanding your ability to communicate with others and grow through being able to share your thoughts and your ideas, and really get your message out there, in a sense, and especially with the people that you interact with in your relationships. And this is also a time that mental health could be on the forefront of things. You might feel a little challenged in that area where you don't feel as stable as you normally do, and you kind of have to really get in touch with what it is that your mind thinks and how healthy that is for you and how that affects your day-to-day reality. This is a perfect time to essentially retrain your brain, especially around ways that you are relating to other people and what's fair in life, and fair for you. So just know that, you know, work lives could have a bit of ups and downs right now, or you could be questioning what it is you think about that, and how happy you are with that situation, and if it's providing the growth that you need, because you're full of ideas and you're ready to share and get those in place. But in order to do that, you have to kind of rework your reality, because if you don't have the time to do all those things that you're inspired by, then nothing's ever going to get done, and they're going to remain ideas in a sense. So how can you get your mind on board to renew your day-to-day reality, essentially? And then lastly, you know, you might be learning a little bit of humility in a sense, you know, because humility isn't Leo's strong suit per se, but it is always, you know, the stars that shine the brightest do so from a humble place. So this can be a time to where you really get to get in touch with how you can add a little more humility into your life, which will then increase your thinking process to be in a healthier place in a sense. So the next aspect I'm going to talk about is the lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse that's going to happen in Aquarius, which is going to happen Monday, August 7th. Pacific time, and this is going to be about releasing old ways of relating, you know, because when we have a lunar eclipse, essentially something dies, but it dies because it's no longer good for us, and we have to open up to new possibilities, new emotional viewpoints, and things to hold on to. And for you, you know, your partnerships are going to be lit up. You're going to feel pretty emotional around who you are relating with in life. And you might even feel the need to actually detach from these people a little bit, or kind of want to go your own way, in a sense. And I don't know if that means that a relationship is over per se, but maybe the way you relate to it, especially emotionally, might need to change at this time. And you have to because you're having all this new vitality in your own independence. That's why I say that maybe some relationships might be challenged at this time. But there's also the beauty to find that balance of how you can still be that independent self that goes after what you want, and be able to do that with sharing your life with another person, and having them complement that energy to an extent, and really just being able to compromise with other people and find a common ground. So if you find like you want to rebel against your closest relationships, this is this full moon lunar eclipse talking in a sense, because relationships that are not working right now, you're literally going to have no patience for. You're going to be like, see ya. So that's okay, because this season's kind of all about you, Leo. So if someone needs to leave your life, go ahead. But if you find that you want them there, make sure that there's still that bit of you that's, you know, that you're not sacrificing that all to someone else. So the next aspect I'm going to talk about is actually Mercury, who's going retrograde. Mercury is going to go retrograde Saturday, August 12th, and that is going to happen in Virgo. And it's going to retrograde back into Leo until September 5th. And for you, you're going to be reviewing, your mind's going to be really be reviewing your own self-worth and what it is you value in life. Like, what does your mind really value? Like, what do you think about that you find, you know, like it's something that you want to manifest or have abundance in, you know, your own way of making money and your finances. You might be rethinking of ways, how can I spruce this up? How can I bring more abundance in my life? Or how can I get over these old self-esteem issues that are holding me back from really communicating what it is I need to communicate and getting my manifestations to the level that I want them at? So your mind's going to be getting a rework right there of, you know, how strong you are in your own talents and your ability to go after those and manifest them. And yeah, so, you know, focus on what you really find valuable, because this is an inner transit. This is something that happens up in here with ourself when we reassess internally. And so when you find that value and your own self-worth and that confidence and what you want to manifest, it's going to head on back to the first house where your mind can redo what it is of how you get yourself out there, and that independent nature, and finding that Aries style urgency to go after what it is that you want, so that when it goes direct, you're going to be able to have your mind in the place that is necessary to take you on new beginnings that really need to happen at this time. So the last aspect that I'm going to talk about is actually Venus, who will have moved into Cancer, will be squaring that Jupiter in Libra and opposing Pluto in Capricorn. And that will be happening Tuesday and Wednesday, August 15th and 16th. And really you're opening yourself up to understanding your, you know, and transforming those self-defeating behaviors you have, you know, especially with relating. Like, do you is there a bit of self-undoing that happens when you try to relate with other people? It's like, do you get in your own way essentially by relating to people in this kind of less from almost an unconscious emotional place, you know? Like, how do you open up to people? Are you doing it from a conscious level? And there's also a part of you that, you know, this is a great time to really go in. You know, this is an introspection moment, especially and you can find a lot of joy there, especially if you put yourself in a beautiful surrounding. You can gain a lot right now, essentially around your own mind and your day-to-day reality, and certain fears that might be holding you back from getting yourself out there and getting more abundance into your life. But also the fact that our minds and our reality is causing us to need some time to ourselves to withdraw and really process the things that have happened, which is not always easy, because maybe we have to go to work, or maybe someone's calling us and want to talk to us, you know, whatever. But this could be a great time to go within and really open up to a moment of spiritual introspection, and to get on board with maybe these certain fears that have been holding you back in your life. Especially around your mind, and going after transmuting your day-to-day reality that's more in line with what it is that your heart desires. All right, Leos, what does the tarot have in store for you? Well, we have the Devil as the focus and the Ace of Pentacles as our grounding. And of course, when you see the Devil, you're like, the Devil? What did I get the Devil for? Well, you know, here we are having a lot of these first house transits, and stepping into your own personal power, and getting yourself out of a situation to where you're chained to something, and not taking control over your own life, and you're just letting that happen. So this is really about the month on focusing on freeing yourself, in a sense, so that you can create more abundance in your life. Because yeah, Ace of Pentacles is there, and it's offering you this material thing, but you have to have that own you know, you have to grab onto your own power and go after that thing, because it's the beginning of something. It's not just going to happen. You have to, you know, step into your ability to make it happen and put your energy there. And don't let any guilt or fear hold you back, because that's another part of this, is like, we become fearful. And so we tend to not move, because our emotions won't let us, and it's easier to stay stuck in this place and compulsively think these things, rather than freeing ourselves and stepping into how strong we really are and going after what it is that we want. So just know some of you may actually be challenged with some addiction behaviors or some compulsive things that you do that are holding you back from creating a new reality in your life, pretty much. So how can you get that under scrutiny and really understand that and free yourself in that area? You know, because essentially you have some big opportunities on the plate. You might have a new job that comes your way, or new ways of making money, or something's being presented to you, or you want to start your own business. But in order to do that, you have to have control over your own power and be able to you know, go after what you want without being fearful about it, you know. So just get rid of negativity this month, and anything that, whenever you're feeling a little negative around something, like start to assess that, like, you know, put your mind around that. Why do I feel this way? Am I really powerless? Does this really scare me? Am I gonna die if I do it? Probably not. So how can you step into that and really, you know, release yourself of that outside influence so that you can become the great Leo that you're meant to be? Because the world and the universe is really calling upon you to do that now. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to find out more about me or find where I'm at, you can find me at energeticprinciples.com. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Energetic Principles. I also do a weekly podcast, Astrology and Tarot and Inspirational Quote podcast with Shauna McGrath of Neo Feminine Astrology. And that is called The Feminine Principle, Astrology for Authentic Living. All right, so I hope everyone has a wonderful Leo season. And if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to my channel and share with friends. And plus, I'd love to hear your comments and how Leo season is treating you. So please leave comments down below. So I hope everybody has a wonderful season with the Lion. And as always, may the stars be with you.